You are watching or listening to the Good Morning Gwinnett Show, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, bringing you your daily dose of business and technology to educate, empower, and inspire small business owners. Be sure to subscribe to the show today.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of my friends around the world. It's a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County, 60 degrees, going up to a high of 72. So that's going to be beautiful. Hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your day. I am been very busy as usual. I got a great show for you today. It's so much is happening right now. So much is happening right now. And we're approaching the holidays with so much going on. And sometimes the holidays just tend to stress people out. So today I'm bringing up a good friend, an amazing woman, a kind heart, a warm spirit, and she's going to talk to us about how to manage all the stressors around what's happening in the world and moving into the holidays. So without further ado, I would like to welcome to the show Dr. Makeda Minott. Good morning, good
Mhm.
morning, good morning.
Good morning, Gwinnett. Good morning, Audrey. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad to have Makita here. So she is not only um, this amazing chiropractor, she's also a member of the GWC. Speaking of the GWC, if you don't know who we are with the Gwinnett Women's Chamber of Commerce, do me a favor, go check us out at GwinnettWomen'sChamber.com to find out more about what we're doing here. We got some great things that's coming down the pipe for 2026, and she's helping us kick it off. But today we're going to be talking about the stresses of the holiday. We're going to be talking about the stresses of just life in general and how to manage, because what a lot of people don't realize is that stress plays a big role in how you feel every day, right down to your joints. So I'm not an expert there. I'm an expert in stress, though. By that I mean being stressed. But Dr. Makita is really good with helping her clients, and she's going to be talking to us about what you need to be doing. So before we get started, give us a little bit of background about who you are and how you got into this industry.
Uh, wow. Okay, so who I am. Hi, everybody. Dr. Makita. Dr. Makita Minott of Riverwell Chiropractic, downtown Lawrenceville. I I really got into this kicking and screaming, to be honest. I used to be a project manager, and 2 kids later, I just could not anymore. The stress I had in corporate life was impacted my second child's gestation, her delivery, everything. It played such a impactful role on her nervous system that she actually had to go under chiropractic care from like month one, like from the start. Thankfully, we had a pediatric certified chiropractor in our universe. My best friend actually introduced us to her chiropractor. And from there on, my life just went complete 180. From watching her receive care and calm down her nervous system, from understanding how my stressful lifestyle, my survival mechanisms really did a number on her nervous system. It made me want to do and be the change and to be the voice for our community, that we have other options that are more in line actually with the way we are raised and the way our cultures enhance more holistic aspects of health. So I just really I couldn't go back to being in corporate after that. So I couldn't stay quiet about it.
Wow, so it's so funny how far we've come. Like, no, I probably would never have thought that my stress levels would impact my unborn child, with all of the stuff that I was going through. I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, the one thing I did, I didn't stress a lot. I had a lot of fun, as a matter of fact, and I really didn't start showing until I was 8 months and 7 months, right? So I looked the same, like I was a size 14. I looked like a 14 right up until my seventh month. But then right at month seven, I just blew up. And I think that's when I became miserable. And then I got preeclampsia. So I had her in the 8th month. She was a preemie. But I don't think we thought about things like that. Like I remember my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, she had 3 kids. And when I tell you, Makita, she meditated all the time. But I didn't think about meditating and all. She meditated all the time. So when she had her 3 kids, they just came out very easily. She didn't have any pain meds. She did none of that stuff, but she meditated and she walked and she drank water. She did all of those things. So she was kind of she knew about that stuff. I didn't know about that because I was a inner city mom without all of the, meditation. I didn't know anything about that stuff. So right now, what I heard you say was that your stress was passed on to your child. And we are living high stress times right now. And there are a lot of pregnant moms right now who probably don't know that this is happening. What do they do about this? Like, how can they manage so this doesn't happen to their kid?
So it comes in two folds, right? Sometimes it's past management and into actual putting out fires mode. And for that, I emphasize that we all do the best we can in the moment. And if you already have kids or you have a high stress job or you're in a stressful relationship, it's going to show up differently for different people. We can't always just be like, oh my God, that sounds stressful. There's no way you could. I can't even think of how you can manage. Like, we always have to hold the field and keep support, first off, for our sisters health wise, and really advocate for that health aspect. But it really starts with the understanding our bodies as women. And there's very little education out there for us, but it is there. It really is. And we have a lot of advocates, especially in the Gwinnett Women's Chamber. We have a lot of healthcare professionals that really focus on the holistic aspects and what women need, both pregnancy, mentally, and for premenopausal. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I think we all need to know about our body, and we probably should learn it from we started having our first period, is that the umbilical cord is not a one-way street. It goes both ways. And when we have such a heightened level of cortisol output, when our stress hormones are all the way up there, and they could be for whatever reason, if we don't have enough for ourselves, we will take from the child. And what that looks like after they're born or even during the delivery stage, because that's stressful, yes, is neurological development delays. It could be not hitting milestones on time. It could be epigenetically enhanced ADHD, things we can change and help and support later on. But if we can pregame by our life before pregnancy, our life before adulthood, yeah, if we can really learn ourselves and our bodies, that's the first step. So getting in young and talking to our daughters and our granddaughters about the things like breath work, like meditation, like not letting people push your buttons, like things like that, learning how to control ourselves and our stressors. Then when we're in the situation of hosting a new life, we already have the supportive environment.
My daughter has been teaching my granddaughter meditation since she was a baby. So they will go outside, and I didn't even know my daughter used to do this. She told me she used to go out and ground. So when I found out about grounding, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. She's like, I do that every morning. I was like, what? She's like, I go out every morning and I stand on the ground with no shoes on. And I said, really? She's like, yep. So she had already been doing these things. Like, I was just trying to catch up to her. But my granddaughter has been meditating since she was probably was like 2. Like, she sits down and she does her little thing like this, and they meditate, and they do this all the time. They go outside, they sit on the balcony, they meditate. So she's been doing that for a while. Let me ask you a question, because I've heard this and I'm not sure if you can answer it, but I've heard that what we have so many cases of autism
Yes.
um, because of what the parents is going through when the child is in the womb, what the mom is going through when the child's in the womb. I also heard something that if a child was born, and listen, I'm not a medical professional, I don't pretend to be one. I'm just talking about things that I've heard and have not really asked the question because it wasn't relevant to me. But now that we're having this conversation, I just want to know if Dr. Makita knows any of these things, that when a child has a um what I want to call it. What's the word I'm looking for? A handicap. That the handicap comes from the father. So I heard someone told me that, and I was like, really? But I don't know how true that is. I didn't do any research. But do you think that the high level and high numbers of autism that we have right now that we're showing is because of the stresses that the mom is carrying during the pregnancy? That's a big question roundabout there.
So many lovely touch points for that. Thank you. One, yes, and we have seen an Um, yes, to the mother's stress and how she is handling her mental and physical well-being during pregnancy is a high contributing factor for the child's neurological development, which is ADHD or autism or Tourette's or anything where there is disafferent. Uh, Disafferentation is when the brain and the body is not connecting correctly. It's like a highway, right? Everybody think about their back and back pain, but it's just an armor for the spinal cord, which is just an extension of the brain. It shuffles the information from your environment and from your ability to touch it, hold it, feel it, all your senses up to the brain for processing. Now, if the child is not getting the nutritional support, if they're not getting the chemical and hormone balance that they need because the mother's environment is being negatively impacted, then yes, they won't have enough cards for their deck to stack a good hand. Now, for the whole father's bit, um, I say this with all the love and support. High five, men, for all that you do, both good and bad. Um, yes, men factor in strongly within the production of the child. However, their primary support is the environment. Their semen actually has the ability to make the placenta strong or not. Their base
Mm.
foundation is what's going to make it. And you know, King George, and from then on, it's always been about the woman's body, and they're the ones messing up the kids, and you know, you got to have your body temperature, this, that, and the other. When really, if a man doesn't eat the right things, or if he has a high acidity level, if his sperm is not able to produce a strong enough placenta, a woman will miscarry every time, because that
Wow.
placenta is protecting the baby during the stages where the body is like, I'm under attack. There is something in me I need to destroy. Um, but it's supposed to be that protective shield. And things like a man's health with diabetes, with his cholesterol, those are all contributing factors. If you are in a relationship and you are trying to become pregnant, it's not all on the woman. It's not all on the sperm count. It's also the quality based off of the man's nutritional aspect and his health. So there's that, yes. Is it a factor in like nerves and genetics and autism? Of course, it's 50-50. It's both of us together, and may the strongest genes survive. I'm neurospicy. I would love to put it on my ex-husband, all the things that I go through with the children, but the fact is, I'm spicy. So they got a little bit of us both, and bless the universe for it. So I take
She's Makita says she's neuro spicy. I like that. You need to put that on a shirt. I'm neuro spicy. What does that mean? That's so cute. I like that.
I like most women in my generation, I'm late stage diagnosed ADHD. So I was always a little special, bless your heart. It had a lot of social dynamics I didn't really understand, a lot of tactile things I couldn't process. If you've seen me in real life, this is about as adult as I get. I usually walk around with ears. It is, I enjoyed all aspects of life, from not an immature aspect, but a pure aspect of the universe was created to be our playground. And I never, until the later years, understood that that's not normal.
Hmm.
There were aspects and coordinations and motor functionings I didn't have in the society set timeline. And as I got more into corporate life, more into adult responsibilities and stressors, it started playing a toll on my nervous system, actually to the point where they were like, if you keep on this road, you're going to get MS. MS, multiple sclerosis, is a hardening of the brain stem where the nerves are no longer being wrapped in myelin, and they're hardening, they're calcifying, and they're not getting the information. That is like beyond insane, but it does genetically run in my family. thankfully, in being under chiropractic care, I learned things like the earlier sets are pernicious anemia, whereas your body's not getting enough B12. And you could take those vitamins all day, but if you don't have its buddy system, B9, you can't process it well. And folic deficiency is a number one thing in pregnancy. That's why they give you them folic iron pills. You get anemic, I love them to, like, don't get me wrong, but kids will suck the life out of you while you're in there. And if you already are deficient in a nutrient, then your body can't keep up to catch up. So after my pregnancies, I started having neurological issues of burnout, like numbness in legs, blurred visions, things that we associate with perimenopause. And yes, it does come with the bag, but I pose the perspective that we were living that stressful mommy life up until then. And as we lost estrogen, and transition into other stages of our life, it was just a matter of time for most of us to get these things like loss of time, blurred vision, and all of those things. So I see it more as not just environment, but as a lifestyle. I'm not knocking, autoimmune diseases are a thing too, but when you think about it, that's your body fighting you. And the lifestyles that we lead as entrepreneurial women, we're the only one that can fight us and win. So our body starts seeing us as the enemy. And so it starts developing autoimmune diseases to protect itself against us. That's just bananas to me. So when we get back aligned with ourselves, not just physically, high five chiropractic, I love not being in physical pain, but I love the concept that chiropractic brings where it's giving you the environmental, the proprioception input into your nervous system that puts your brain back in check. It's like, oh, wait, I don't have to work as hard if this area of my body is functioning correctly, and I personally love it. I put that ish on everything.
So Makita, let me ask you this. That's a lot. That is so. So if you're not in the medical space, you're not thinking about these type of things, right? You're trying to figure out how to take a Tylenol to get rid of this pain, how to
Yes.
take an acid pill to get rid of that pain, that thing.
Yes.
We're not thinking about the things that we could be doing. I can tell you right now that I literally had to stop watching the news because I knew it was making me physically sick. So I
Yes.
stopped watching it. I stopped watching it years before, like 2020, I stopped. And then I think last year I picked back up again, and then I became addicted all over again. Now I have stopped again. So much stress going on. And I think I even I had a glitch. I call it a glitch, right? Where for like
Yes.
7 minutes
It is.
I have no recollection. They thought I had a stroke. I have no recollection of anything for 7 minutes of my life about 3 weeks ago. But I think it was stress and all the things that we go through, and we all the things we're doing. Talk about right now, people are not getting their SNAP. They don't know if Social Security is going to be here. They don't know how they're going to buy Thanksgiving. Christmas is around the corner. Got to pay the rent. The light bill is going up. We got election going on. People are afraid to get. It's so much. It's
It
so
is.
much. And it's really hard to block it all out as much as you want to. I'm a Pisces. And when I tell y'all we love to escape reality, but you can't escape it when it's all around you. So, what can people be doing right now to make sure that they take the best care of themselves as they possibly can? Because, I want to escape all the time. Like, that's just my nature, it's who I am. I just want to go somewhere and just be quiet and don't just escape the world. Let me watch some, happy go lucky Hallmark movie for the rest of the day. I can't do that because I run a
K-dramas.
business
Let's go.
and so what can they be doing right now to do this reset? Because they're gonna need it. They're gonna need a hard reset for all the stuff that's happening, moving to the holidays, getting ready for 2026, God willing. What do they need to be doing right now?
Okay, I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. Before you can go anywhere, you have to know where you are now. Okay?
True.
So do a self audit. We do audits for our businesses all the time, but do we do it for ourselves? So, first step is do an audit. I do one every 3 months because physically I can't afford not to. And sometimes I have to do a hard check in the moment. Just the other day, like, no lie, I found a sock on the floor and I was just, I was yelling. It was not proud moment. Okay. But it was a sock, bro, a sock. And my son is like, can you please stop yelling? And I'm like, no, I can't. Because I was dysregulated. Because I had poured out so much of myself in my busy season, because like everything else, chiropractic has a busy season, that I did not check where I was before I started interacting with the people I love.
Mhm.
So do an audit. Sit down with a pen, a paper, a candle, if you please. Get the music going. I prefer Hertz frequency 528. It's sort of like that jazzy lo-fi bit, but really it vibrates on a cellular level that processes inflammation. Not gonna chiro vomit, but I love this stuff. It's a matter of sit down and ask yourself, even if it got to be out loud. I don't care who thinks you're crazy. Maybe, I don't like that C word. Maybe do it in your happy place, right? The Bible says, find that corner of the closet and just be one with God. Do it if you have to. And sit down and ask yourself, hi, me, what's going on? Where do I feel tired? Because sometimes tired isn't a discipline of not being lazy. Sometimes it's just a low capacity. Right now, I just ain't got it to give. So, where or who do I find myself around that I feel tired? And even if you don't know the answer in the moment, subconsciously your brain will be processing it. And then next time you're around that person or you're in that environment, you'll yawn. Your body will tell you. Because the body, it keeps score. And I see it every day in my office where women come in with tension headaches, with digestive issues. And all the time it's, oh, my business is stressing. Oh, my kids are stressing. There's always stress. And stress isn't a bad word. It's really not. Stress allows for growth when it's healthy and processed well. So once you audit on where you are honestly to yourself, like, bro, I'm not okay. Then take the next step. That is okay to not be okay. Because then you set a plan of action of how you will be. I like menus because I like going to restaurants. So I have a me menu. So it's little things that I like to do that picks me back up. There's my happy song. There's that place I like to eat. There is my favorite movie. And depending on how much time I have in my day, I give myself a little me treat from my menu. These things help me process better so that I can show up better. I'm a scout leader and lifelong PTA, and it's hard running from everybody and everything and all the Zooms. Sometimes we just got to stop and be like, am I okay? No. Okay, sweetie. Just like you talk to your kids. Okay, sweetie, what will get you okay? I want a cookie. Well, we talked about that diet and we're going to have that cake later because it's somebody's birthday, right? So what other than a cookie? I could listen to a song, and then you play the song and you pick it back up. As the holidays are coming, a lot of people, especially women with ADHD, tend to become depressed.
Why is that?
We're pouring out to make these events the best, the biggest, the memories. Oh, we're making it great for the people we care for, especially those who are caregivers of elderly and or small children. We want to make these memories because what they might be the last. We're placing such importance on it that we're sucking out the fun, right? So in those cases, I would stop and again check, who am I doing this for? Is this something I really want to do, or am I doing it like networking, events, stuff like that? Am I doing it just to check it off the box? Because believe it or not, we check out and watch movies and watch all that escapism because we forgot that we are the author of our reality. Whatever we want, we're either going to bring it or go get it. So we just need to stop and rewrite our reality. I know it sounds delulu, but it's the truth. This is our world, our way we experience it, and it's meant to be enjoyed. So, how can we enjoy the holidays? If being around certain family members really suck the life out of you, yes, we are emotionally obligated sometimes, but I pose a perspective, just can't make it this year. And that's okay. I'm here, but I'm only going to be here for 20 minutes. Set the timer and bounce. It's okay. How they process it, that's on them. Charge
Say
before.
that part again, because I think that's what a lot of people get hung up. They're not thinking about themselves in the moment, even though they know that situation is bad for them. They're worried
Mhm.
about what the other person is going to think. In the meantime, they're actually suffering. Right? I
Yeah.
had a conversation with someone, and it was crazy because I was like, it's pretty much like the old saying that Maya Angelou said: when people show you who they are, you got to believe them. Well, when people tell me what they want to say, I got to believe that. Like, I'm not going to sit there and try to dissect, well, this is what you said, because I'm going to take you at your word. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to figure out, well, you said it, it's making me feel some kind of way. I need to handle me, because you've told me what
Yes.
you want, who you are, what you expect. It's making me feel some kind of way. So I have to figure out, well, how you want to deal with that, Audrey. Can't make them change their mindset about things. I got to worry about me. A lot of times people don't even know how to put themselves first. So what are some steps? Because right now, like you said, right, you said the holiday is going to come. There's some people just don't want to be around. I gotta pay attention to that tired thing though. I really got to pay attention to that, because here over the last probably 2 weeks, I've been really tired for no reason. To the yesterday, my husband said, "Did you take a nap?" I've never taken a nap in the middle of the day ever. And I
Mm.
was like, a nap? Like, I don't take naps, right? But I was, the last 2 days, I was exhausted. And normally I'm up to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Not the last 2 days. The last 2 days, I think I've probably been shutting down like 10 o'clock, which is very unusual for me. So now I have to pay attention to who's around me when I'm feeling like this. And it starts early in the day. Most of the time, no one is around me. So I have to pay attention to that. But putting yourself first is so key, right? And I
Mhm.
think, especially for women, that's really hard. Even for men, I had this conversation with my husband, and he feels guilty when he does nice things for himself. And I'm always saying, bro, you deserve it. Do something nice for yourself. You
Yeah.
deserve that. I'm not gonna bitch and moan about you doing, excuse my French, but I'm not gonna be the one that, because I know how hard you work. You deserve whatever you want, whatever you want. He makes an apology for that. I'm like, why? Because I'm not apologizing when I want something, and you shouldn't either. So talk a little bit about that, like how to put yourself first so you can relieve some of this stress and not worry about what people are gonna think about you.
Oh, bless it. You're coming for me personally with that one because that's an area of growth for me. It is. I am the firstborn. I am a grandma baby. So when my 95-year-old grandmother comes to town, the whole world stops because it's grandma's universe. So I had to learn. I had to learn that no, yes, ha, love the 80s. I was very I gotta say it correctly because I know I'm delivered from this. But sometimes I relapse, right? So the first step I took was to give myself permission to exist.
Mm.
I get to take up space. I get to be loud. I know I'm loud. Sorry, y'all. My my auditory senses, they don't then I don't think I'm loud, but I know I'm loud. And I'll have random bursts of excitement. And as a child, not knowing that that is a thing with ADHD kids, right? And we know that now, but in the 80s, we didn't know that. That was not okay. You had to sit down and be quiet. A child should be seen and not heard. And I pose this perspective that that programming, because her brain is a computer, right? That programming is still in there somewhere. So every time it kicks up for me, I got to dig it back out. I got to be like, no, that's a seed I don't want planted. Not for me and not for my kids. We talk a lot as women about breaking chains. These are the things that are chains that we bind ourselves with because we believe them over time. We either heard it a lot or we heard it once and we were like, oh my God, that's true. No, it's not. No, it's not. You get to exist. You get to take up space. You get to enjoy your life. You don't have to earn it. Bible says we can't. So
Mm-hmm.
here are we trying. It's very, and I've read the Bible, the Quran, the Torah. I've read them all to understand the people around me, and understand who created me, like what stardust this like magically appeared kind of thing, like understand it all. And it makes you feel so small. These are social constructs that are put on us to control us, and after a while we start controlling ourselves. Society ain't got to worry about putting their foot on us because we're holding ourselves back, because we don't
Mm-hmm.
walk around like the kings and queens we are. So those reprogramming things need time and they need grace. We have
Wow.
to love ourselves and give ourselves permission to love. I see this a lot this time of year. I don't know if you know, but it's cuffing season. If you don't know what that is,
No, don't know what is that.
okay. So cuffing season is when men who generally don't have their own domicile find a young lady that they also fall in love with during the seasons where we are prone, because of vitamin D deficiency and our estrogen needing to process all that, to want to be cuddled and held. um, this is the season where cuddling turns into regrettable relationships. Cuffing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Valentine's Day show. Like I feel like, and we're out of time. Listen, guys, I know this
Oh,
is going to be a good show. Makita, let me ask you this, because I
yeah.
want you to come back because, um, you know, right after Christmas, everybody has a vision. They got a
Mm-hmm.
vision board. They got some goals. They got some
Yes.
resolutions. They got some new
Got
new
mine
ideas.
ready.
All this happens
Yeah.
right dead smack right after Christmas. Like we've gotten through Thanksgiving. We've gotten through Christmas. In 7 days, it's going to be December the 31st. I got to make my resolution. I got to change my plans. I got to set some goals. I want you to come back because I want to talk about creating a vision for your life. A lot of people call this new age, right? I had someone say to me, that's new age, right? And in my mind, I'm like, I don't even want to get into that because to me, I can't negate all of the stuff in history, right? Just to have one view of something. I just can't do it. It's too much. And it's too many things that shaped our world right now that are a part of the history that I just personally can't close a blind eye to and say, this is the only thing I'm going to believe in. I can't do it. So I believe in a lot of different things. I believe that, like you said, epigenetics, right? A lot of people have no idea what epigenetics is, but I studied Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I'm like, wow, you can rewire your brain to do things. I listen to 528 megahertz. I listen to it when my knees is hurting and I want to go to sleep, right? So I'll turn it on. My
Mhm.
husband knows we both laying there listen to, like, we're gonna go to sleep to these vibrations because my knee is killing me right now, and I need to make sure it starts to heal. So we do all of these things, but a lot of people just don't believe in it. But I don't what we're going to talk about when you come back, we're going to talk about creating a vision for the rest of your life. Well, that's a lot. Let's say create a vision for the next 12 months moving forward, because I want people to understand that this is a time for us to take ourselves seriously, to take our health seriously, to be more in tune with who we are and what we're supposed to be doing and doing things on. Let me tell you what I've learned that I am a creative, right? I have a friend and she has ADHD, and she's funny and she's smart though. She's ridiculously smart. She's self-taught with everything. And she told me, she said, you probably have ADHD. I said, why you say that? She said, if your mind can go like this and do all these things at one time, and my mind, like I'll be here, there, and but it works for me. And it's
Yeah.
confusing for a lot of people. And I get a lot of like this morning, I have created videos. I've created strategy plans that I'm going to submit when I get finished with all of this stuff. My mind is like, okay, do this, do this, do this. It does that all the time. But I realize that I am a creative, right? And I used to always say, I wish I was an artist. I am an artist in my own way. And the more I embrace the fact that I am a creative and I like to really create stuff, it makes me so much more happier. Like I am so much more happier just creating all of these things. And what's crazy about that, because I have accepted that about myself, now
Mhm.
people are coming to me because the universe is sending them. hey, create this book for me, create this thing for me. And I'm like, yay, I'm having a great time. But I want people to get to the point where they recognize who they really are, not
Yeah.
what the world says they are, not what the parents say they are, not what the spouse say they are. So I want to talk about that when you come back. Hopefully you'll come back at the beginning of the year or right before the beginning of the year. And I want you to give people some solid points on what they should be doing moving forward. So we got to close it out. But before we go, a couple of things, final words, and then how can people contact you?
Uh, Final words, contact me. Our website is riverwellcairo.com. I have a Grind to Grace program. It's an audit system with the supportive help afterwards. Check it out if it's so in line with you. And you'll see me buzzing around Gwinnett. 'Tis the season. Grab me at any of the network events, either BNI or Gwinnett Women's Chamber or Gwinnett Chamber. Just grab me aside, give me a high five. You are a creative, and I love and I so appreciate the space you have created for women entrepreneurs in Gwinnett. I have personally blossomed within the programs, and
Thank you.
I'm a connector. So I like to connect people back with who they are and who they need to network with, right? So if you see me, catch me if you can. But you can find me on the website. Oh, and Instagram and Facebook and all those other butterfly social things.
All right. Listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll be back in 2 weeks with another great episode. This time, we're going to be talking the legal system. We're going to be talking justice for all. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the show. Wherever you are, subscribe to the show and listen to it. And that you don't want to miss this. Our next guest on in 2 weeks, she's going to be talking about equal justice for everybody. People don't understand the justice system. They need to really understand what that means and how it affects them, things that they can do if they have a record, if they want to get a new start, a new leap on life. Just a thing. And your families, when something happens to somebody, they get locked up. The family's like, I don't know what to do. The first thing they think about is a bail bondsman. But we're going to break that down so you can understand. So subscribe to it, no matter where you are in the world. You don't have to be in Gwinnett. That show, like this show, is really important to you, because if you're on the other side of the world and you're stressed out, it doesn't mean it because you're not in Gwinnett, you're not stressed out. Listen, take these tools and put them in your life, implement them so that you can live your best life ever. Subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. For more information and more news about what's going on in and around Gwinnett County, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com. A lot of stuff there for y'all. I put a lot of content out so you can find out what to do in money, business, and tech, and find out what's happening locally. Makita, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate you. I'm looking forward to bringing you back for the new year so we can put a plan in place.
Yes.
Put a clear vision in place so people can move forward and have a great 2026. So thank you again for that.
Thank you so much. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Hey, listen, guys, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. I'll be back 2 weeks. Make sure you subscribe. And thank you again for listening and tuning in. Until next time, my friends, until next time, make it a great day. Bye, everybody.
You've been watching or listening to the Good Morning Gwinnett Show, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the show today and share it with your friends by going to www.goodmorninggwinnett.com.